Hey guys, welcome back. This is the story about what if Naruto had the Poison King bloodline. How would this affect the shinobi world? To find out, watch this video till the end. Before we start, I want you guys to please like, share and subscribe this channel. Your support means the world to me. Let's dive in. It was another peaceful in Konoha, the village hidden in the leaves. One of the great 5 villages of the elemental nations. Well, if by peaceful you mean having the Hokage monument painted by none other than 12-year-old Naruto Uzumaki, Jinchuriki of the 9-tailed demon fox, Kyuubi. Right now, Naruto was being chased down by 2 chunin around Konoha, the blonde Uzumaki laughing the entire time. Hahaha. Give it up. You're just mad because you don't have the guts to do what I did. Do ya, losers? Wannabes. You'll never catch me. Laughed Naruto as he jumped off of the many buildings of Konoha before he tricked the 2 chunin by pretending to jump ahead, while instead deciding to hide behind a blanket which looked just like the fence behind him. Ahahaha. That was too easy. He laughed, not noticing his teacher Iruka Yamino behind him. Oh yeah, Naruto? Asked Iruka, shouting, making Naruto jump and scream slightly at the sudden surprise of having his teacher appear behind him out of nowhere. Where'd you come from, Iruka-sensei? What are you doing here? Asked Naruto as he landed on his backside, having somehow defied physics by staying in the air longer and turning himself around as he fell. No, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in class. Stated Iruka as Naruto gulped slightly. Konoha Ninja Academy, half an hour later. I'm at the end of my rope, Naruto. Stated Iruka as he looked down at Naruto, who was now tied up by ropes, no one besides a certain shy Hyuga in the back, noticing as a barely noticeable purple chakra gathered around Naruto's right hand for a fraction of a second, as Iruka continued to berate him, making Naruto grunt. Alright. Because you missed it, Naruto. Everyone will review the transformation jutsu. Stated Iruka, making most of the class groan as they all got into line. All the students transforming into Iruka, some students with some oddities in their transformation, but most of them got it down. Soon enough it came to Naruto's turn. Transformation jutsu. Shouted Naruto as blue chakra started swirling around him for a second before he was covered in a plume of smoke. As the smoke faded away, instead of the expected Iruka clone, in Naruto's place was an attractive adult woman with twin blonde pigtails, which had a strange tint of purple to it, and Naruto's signature whisker-like birthmarks on her cheeks. A real killer. She was completely naked beside some convenient smoke covering her private areas. Upon seeing this, Iruka couldn't help but to be shot back by the torrent of blood which shot out of his nose. Ha. Got you. That's my sexy jutsu. Laughed Naruto as he returned to normal in a puff of smoke as he pointed at Iruka. Cut the stupid tricks. This is your last warning. Shouted Iruka, his head growing to about 3 times its usual size. Konoha Ninja Academy, the next day. The day was graduation day at the Ninja Academy, where the Genin hopefuls would test to see if they could graduate and become a part of a Genin squad. The final test for becoming a Genin consisted of preforming the clone jutsu, something which Naruto could never preform for the life of him. So far, all the students managed to pass their tests and gain the right to wear the Konoha symbol on their headbands. Now it was Naruto's turn to try and preform the clone jutsu. Alright Naruto, you can do this, thought Naruto to himself, as he tried to encourage himself as once again, his chakra started to swirl around him. Clone jutsu. He cried out as a puff of smoke appeared next to him, which dispersed to show nothing but a pale and lifeless version of Naruto. You fail. Shouted Iruka, making Naruto's world seem to spin into a spiral of darkness as more of the unusual purple chakra flared off of his body in millisecond-long bursts, being unnoticeable to the naked eye. Iruka. He's off, but his moves weren't bad, and he did hang in there and use the clone jutsu. This is his 3rd attempt at becoming a ninja, so you know he's determined. We could cut him a break and pass him. Suggested Mizuki, Iruka's teaching assistant, giving Naruto a little hope as the purple chakra stopped pulsing off of his body. Mizuki. The other students created at least effective clones. But Naruto could only create one, and look at it. It's pitiful. I can't pass him. Sighed Iruka, keeping his tone nice and even throughout his mini-speech, while Naruto clenched his teeth, the purple chakra returning as a thin coat around his body, almost unnoticeable besides the slight purple tint that now surrounded Naruto, before he ran out of the room and into the small field outside, where he had to deal with hearing all the other students brag about how they passed a test and became ninja while he sat alone on the swing set hanging from a tree, while some parents muttered darkly about him, before he noticed Mizuki standing next to him, as the two talked for a while as the sun started setting. Iruka is tough, but he's not against you. Stated Mizuki as he and Naruto sat on the roof of a building. Then why? Why only me? Asked Naruto, referring to how Iruka constantly berated him in class about slacking off and goofing about. He wants you to be strong, with all his heart. But that will never happen if he goes easy on you. Stated Mizuki as Naruto looked sadly into the distance. He's like you know. No parents, no family. he stated, making Naruto reel back in shock slightly as his left arm, which Mizuki couldn't see, was covered in a thin but noticeable layer of purple chakra, which moved and bubbled like a hot liquid. But this time, I really wanted to graduate, sighed Naruto sadly as the purple chakra, once again, disappeared into thin air, as if it was never there to begin with. Haha. Then, I guess I have to tell you. Smirked Mizuki, gaining Naruto's interest. It's a secret, but I'm gonna let you in on it. He stated as Naruto stared at him. Time skip. Nighttime. A secret that Mizuki told Naruto was about a secret test to become a ninja. All Naruto would have to do would be to steal the scroll of seals from the Hokage's office and meet Mizuki in one of the forests outside of Konoha, while also learning a jutsu from the scroll. Multi-shadow clone jutsu? Oh come on, that's my worst jutsu, sighed Naruto as he read the first entry in the scroll of seals, before he decided to say screw it and try using it. Putting his hands in a cross-like symbol, he flared his chakra as he created 10 clones. Wow. That's cool. He chuckled as he looked at his clones before noticing something. They had shadow's weight, he mumbled as he read more on the jutsu, learning its true capabilities before moving on to the next entry, poison style. What's this? He asked himself as he and his clones read up on poison style. The thing that caught their eyes was the fact that they mentioned the jutsu belonging to a bloodline. Deciding to try it out, Naruto picked the first jutsu he found on poison style and decided to test it out. Poison style. Poison swamp. He called out as he slammed his open palms onto the ground before purple chakra flowed off of his arms and created a bog-like area made out of the chakra, which smelt like death. Meanwhile, somewhere in the land of fire. Huh? Asked a man with purple blonde hair, in his mid-30s, wearing a red long-sleeved shirt and a dark blue pair of long-legged pants with the traditional ninja sandals, as his blue eyes widened, feeling a power from Konoha which he never expected to feel in his lifetime, making his eyes darken as he realized that the Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi lied to him about his nephew being dead 12 years ago, before he started going through hand signs, ending it by biting his thumb hard enough to draw blood, before he slammed his palm onto the ground, making a sealing array appear before it disappeared in a plume of smoke, leaving before a horse-sized fox with 5 tails. Huh? Oh, hey there Jin-sama. What is it you want this time? Asked a fox politely to the man. Santo, I need you to carry me back to Konoha as fast as you can. It'd seem like my nephew is still alive. Stated Jin as he put on a Konoha Jonin vest, which was torn and ripped from multiple battles, the holes being poorly stitched together. So, not only is Naruto-sama alive, but he's awakened his bloodline. Asked Santo as he lowered his body enough that Jin could get on before the two made off in the direction of Konoha, not noticing as a man with long white hair stared at the two in shock as he heard the name, Naruto. Hey. Boss. Iruka-sensei is coming. Shouted one of the many clones that Naruto had made to keep an eye out for Mizuki, and he looks really mad. It stated before it dispelled, giving Naruto its memories. Alright. Time show Iruka-sensei what I learned. Smirked Naruto, his clothing covered in dirt. After reading up on everything about the multi-shadow clone jutsu, Naruto decided to use it to help him learn jutsu faster. He managed to use most of the poison style moves, while also learning some other forbidden jutsu, not that he knew what they were forbidden. He managed to get the basics down for a jutsu known as the Flying Thunder God. The main problem is that his clones kept on hitting themselves into trees and other things, painfully he might add. Finally, Naruto dispelled all of his clones, which amassed to about 50 clones, all at once making him fall onto his butt from the backlash, while he swore he could hear a deep growling voice in the back of his mind, growling about foolish humans. It's all over. Haha. Smirked Iruka as he walked up to the prone Naruto, who started to laugh. Huh? He asked confused. Caught me already, not bad. You're quick Iruka-sensei. I only had time to learn a handful of techniques. Chuckled Naruto as he scratched the back of his head while Iruka stared at him impressed. He's been out here practicing. I can tell how hard he's been working, thought Iruka to himself as he looked over Naruto's form, taking notice of the sweat and dirt on his clothes. He also took notice of the purple stained patches on Naruto's sleeves, stains which were usually from poison. Listen, Iruka-sensei, I'm going to show you this awesome jutsu I learned, and you're going to let me graduate, and everything will be okay. That's the way it works, right? Anyone who learns a jutsu from the scroll pass. Smirked Naruto, setting off made his student, his little brother figure was tricked into doing a major act of treason against his village. Mizuki-sensei told me about it. He told me where to find the scroll and this place, there is no secret test, is there? Naruto asked, starting out as a rant before he noticed Iruka's horrified face, before he noticed a bunch of kunai and shuriken flying towards Iruka poison style. Poison blockade. He called out as purple chakra rose out of the ground, forming a massive wall which blocked the kunai and shuriken. So that's how it is, I should have known, sighed Iruka, not showing his surprise that Naruto learned that jutsu as he turned towards the tree behind him, where Mizuki was standing. Naruto. Give me the scroll, now. demanded Mizuki as he stared down at Naruto and Iruka, the former being confused as all hell right now. What's going on here? Asked Naruto, confused as he lowered the well of poison. Naruto, don't let Mizuki get the scroll. It contains forbidden jutsu that can put this village in grave danger. Mizuki used you to get the scroll for himself, for his own power. Shouted Iruka, making Naruto growl slightly as he glared at his academy teacher. Naruto, Iruka's just trying to scare you, cause he doesn't want you to have the scroll. Stated Mizuki calmly, making Naruto look between his two teachers. Stop lying, Mizuki. Don't let him trick you, Naruto. Shouted Iruka, making Mizuki chuckle as Naruto felt an odd tingling sensation go down the length of his spine as two glowing red slitted eyes stared at the three from within the bushes, its five tails waving through the air dangerously as it focused on Mizuki and Naruto specifically. Oh, I'll tell you who's really lying. Smirked Mizuki, making Iruka shout in protest of the suggested action. They've been lying to you your whole life, Naruto. Since the decree 12 years ago. He stated, making Naruto even more confused than he already was. What decree? Asked Naruto as the red eyes moved behind him. Everyone knows except you. Iruka's trying to hide it from you even now, he'd do anything to shut me up. Smirked Mizuki, satisfied in knowing that. What is this decree? And why does everyone know about it? Asked Naruto, still hopelessly lost. Don't tell him. It's forbidden. Shouted Iruka in protest as he walked in front of Naruto, only to get pinned to the hut behind them by another volley of Mizuki's kunai. The decree is, none can tell you the nine-tailed fox is inside you. Stated Mizuki, a dark look on his face as Iruka tried to pull the kunai off and out of him. As Naruto's eyes widened, the fox spirit that killed Iruka's parents and destroyed our village has taken over your body. You're the NINE zero-tailed fox. He added, crushing Naruto's will even more than before. Stop it. Screamed Iruka while Naruto's body started gaining a purplish tint to it as his poison chakra cloak started forming. They've all been sneaking around, hiding things from you your whole life. Didn't you think how it was strange how they treated you? Like dirt. Like they hated you, just for being alive. Continued Mizuki, noticing as Naruto's chakra started swirling around his body, turning indigo as it mixed with his poison chakra as he kept repeating, no, over and over. That's why you will never be accepted in this village. Even your beloved sensei hates your guts. He shouted once again as Iruka managed to pull the last kunai out of his body. Die, Naruto. Mizuki shouted as he took one of the three massive shuriken he had attached to his back off before throwing it at Naruto, making the terrified 12-year-old forget all about the jutsu he learned and try to crawl away. Naruto, get down. Shouted Iruka as Naruto did as his sensei ordered and put his head down, while Iruka bent his body over Naruto's own, expecting for the massive shuriken to pierce his back, only for nothing to come besides Mizuki's terrified gasp, making the teacher and student look at what had Mizuki so terrified before they saw a red five-tailed fox holding the shuriken with his tail. You dare betray Konoha. Not only that, but you tried to hurt fellow Konoha citizens. And worse of all. You tried to hurt Naruto-sama. For that you will burn. Shouted the fox in rage as his red eyes grew dangerously. Who are you? Asked Naruto, terrified before he realized that the fox knew his name. And how do you know my name? He added, making the fox calm down. I am Kasai, a battle-based summon of the demon fox summoning contract held by your uncle, TWO Namikaze. Smirked the fox before the tips of all his tails lit up with blue flame. Now, let me show this ungrateful bastard why my name means firestorm. He smirked before the fires on his tails grew in size and turned blood-red demonic summoning art. Foxfire Halo. He shouted as the fires shot towards Mizuki, who dodged them before being momentarily chased off by Kasai. Why? Asked Naruto as Iruka got off of him before sitting down. Because we're the same. When I lost my parents, none seemed to care. They didn't have time for me. They just forgot I was there. My grades dropped, I became the class clown. I just wanted them to see me and to know my name. My schoolwork wasn't good enough to get their attention, so I did crazy things. And then I had to pay for it. It was hard. I know that's how you feel, Naruto. You feel lonely and it hurts inside. And I could have been there for you more. I let you down, I'm sorry. None should have to suffer that much, none should be alone like that. Ranted Iruka, tears flowing down his face as moisture gathered in the corner of Naruto's eyes before a white fox nuzzled its way in between them. Don't cry. You both have each other now, begged the white fox before the trio heard chuckling as Mizuki landed back up on the tree he was earlier, before he threw the second of his large shuriken into Iruka's back. Don't make me laugh. Iruka always hated you. He was orphaned because the nine-tailed fox killed his parents. And that beast is now inside you. He'd say anything to get the scroll from you. Shouted Mizuki, laughing, making Naruto decide on what he would do next as he ran away as fast as he could, making Iruka scream after him. You big meanie. How did you beat Kaka? Shouted the white fox, making Mizuki laugh. He was pathetic. All it took was a simple genjutsu and he went the entire wrong way. laughed Mizuki, making Iruka growl as he pulled the shuriken out of his back before throwing it at Mizuki and running away, taking the white fox with him. We tune in as Iruka is jumping through the trees of the forest looking for Naruto. Soon enough, he found said blonde jumping ahead of him with the scroll on his back. Naruto? Everything Mizuki said was a lie. Give the scroll. Hurry. He's coming after you to take it away. Shouted Iruka as he sped up to catch up to Naruto, eventually overtaking him in terms of speed, before Naruto tackled him in the chest with his shoulder, causing the two to fall to the ground below them, while Iruka fell onto his back. Naruto managed to land on his feet while panting harshly. It can't be, Iruka growled while Naruto backed up against a tree, holding the scroll in his lap. How did you know, Naruto? How did you know? Iruka started as a puff of smoke covered his body, revealing Mizuki in his place, that it was me and not Iruka. He growled, making Naruto smirk and chuckle before, like Mizuki, his body was covered in a puff of smoke, revealing Iruka in his place. Because I'm Iruka. Smirked Iruka, the scroll having been the white fox from earlier, only transformed. You're a fool. Why are you protecting that freak? He's the one who wiped out your family. Shouted Mizuki, unknowing that Naruto and a certain pissed off five-tailed fox were listening. I don't care what you say. You're not getting your hands on that scroll. Stated Iruka firmly while the white fox nodded while glowing green. Ha! As if you could stop me. Don't you get it? Naruto is just like me. Smirked Mizuki while the white fox growled at Mizuki in anger. How's that? Asked Iruka, curious at the lies that Mizuki would spill. He wants the scroll for his own power and his own vengeance. That's how beasts are. He'll pour all of his rage into the scroll and destroy everything. Stated Mizuki as if it was common knowledge, getting 2 growls from foxes in the real world and a growl from the 9-tailed fox, Kurama. You're right. Started Iruka, making Naruto gasp slightly at the thought that his sensei really didn't think of him as himself, only as a beast looking for vengeance. So it's true, Iruka sensei never believed in me, muttered Naruto to himself, not noticing as a figure landed in the tree he was leaning against. He thinks I'm some beast, some kind of freak, he muttered to himself as purple chakra started forming around his body, making the growling voice of Kurama louder in his mind, as he could just vaguely make out words. Stop, toxic, destroy, chakra, weak host. Shouted Kurama's voice inside of Naruto's mind, his message being, stop using that toxic chakra. It will destroy your chakra. And I, the mighty Kyuubi, will not have a weak host. That is how beasts are, stated Iruka, making Naruto's eyes widen slightly, but that's not who Naruto is, he's nothing like that. Naruto's one of a kind, works hard, puts his whole heart into it. Sure, he messes up sometimes and everyone jumps on him. But his suffering only makes him stronger. That's what separates him from being a beast. So, you're wrong. He's nothing like the 9-tailed fox. He's Naruto Uzumaki. Of the Hidden Leaf Village. Shouted Iruka, making the figure in the trees nod in understanding and joy, while Naruto cried his eyes out pretty much, while Mizuki took the last massive shuriken off of his back. You really believe that dribble? Iruka, I was going to save you for later, but I've changed my mind. You're finished. Shouted Mizuki as he started spinning the shuriken, getting ready to throw said weapon at Iruka before he was tackled out of the way by Naruto, making the shuriken fly way off course and through the trees, cutting off a few branches. Poison style. Paralysis bullet. Shouted Naruto as he spat out a bullet of poison, which hit Mizuki dead on, making him hit a tree, leaving him in a standing position. Naruto. Shouted Iruka in shock as he stared at his student, who was covered in a visible and bubbled layer of poison which was shaped in a similar manner to a fox, with pointed ears and 9 tails swishing around in the air wildly. Not bad, for a little punk. Growled Mizuki as he glared at Naruto, whose eyes had turned red while his pupil became slitted. If you ever lay a hand on my sensei, I'll kill you. Growled Naruto, making Mizuki smirk. Such big words. I can completely destroy you with a single move. Shouted Mizuki as Naruto put his hands into the cross-like hand sign that belonged to his new favorite jutsu. Take your best shot, fool. I'll give it back to you 1,000-fold. Growled Naruto while the figure stared at Naruto, joy evident in his eye as he watched the amount of chakra he was gathering before deciding to help. Let's do this. To the best of my ability, summoning jutsu. Shouted the figure as he slammed his bleeding hand onto the branch, causing a massive amount of 1-tailed foxes to appear. Demon Fox Squad 8. Your mission is to help Naruto Uzumaki absolutely destroy the traitor Mizuki. Shouted the figure, making all the foxes nod as they jumped behind Naruto. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Shouted Naruto as he filled the entire clearing with smoke, which slowly disappeared to reveal that the entire clearing was filled with Naruto clones, each one covered in the same cloak as the original, making Iruka stare at his student in awe and pride, while Mizuki stared at the army in fear as he tried to move, only to realize he couldn't, as the squad of foxes and Kasai walked up next to Naruto and smirked at Mizuki. Karma is a bitch, isn't a traitor? Asked Kasai, smirking as he had 2 of his tails form across like sealed demonic copy. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. Kasai shouted as more puffs of smoke erupted around the field, signaling the creation of Kasai's 20 clones, making a small dark patch start growing at the crotch of Mizuki's pants, while Iruka smirked, both proud of his student for creating solid clones and taking a little satisfaction in what was about to happen. Poison style. Poison bullet. Demonic fire style. Foxtail hell flame. Shouted Naruto and Kasai at the same time as all the Naruto clones fired orbs of poison out of their mouths, while the Kasai clones fired 5 balls of fire each, all of which shot towards Mizuki, leaving him as a burnt spasming mess on the floor. "You okay, Iruka-sensei?" asked Naruto as he dispelled all of his clones, not getting any sort of overload as thankfully they all had similar memories, Kasai doing the same. "Yeah," nodded Iruka as he noticed all of his wounds were healed. "He's truly amazing. He wants to surpass all the previous Hokage, and I'm starting to believe he might do it," he thought to himself before the figure in the tree, TWO Namikaze, jumped down. "Nice going there, kid. Using that jutsu with our bloodline is a great combo," smirked Jin as he patted Naruto on the back, making the kid look at him weirdly. "What? Can't an uncle congratulate his nephew?" he asked sarcastically, making Naruto and Iruka stare at him in shock. "You're my uncle, where have you been for the last 12 years?" shouted Naruto in shock as he stared at Jin. "Let me, Jin-sama. You see, Naruto-sama, Jin-sama was told by an unknown Anbu member that you were dead on the day of your birth. Heartbroken by the loss of his brother, his sister-in-law and nephew, he left Konoha and traveled around the elemental nations. Recently he found out you were alive when you used your bloodline," explained Kasai in a formal and polite tone of voice as he seemed to bow to Naruto, while the squad of foxes Jin summoned disappeared in a puff of smoke. "If you are Naruto's uncle, then show something that only you two could do," stated Iruka, being cautious about the safety of his student, making Jin sigh before his body was coated in a visible and bubbled layer of poison, similar to Naruto's, only his was more maroon in color, before the poison moved to the center of his palm. "Poison style. Poison hurricane." Jin shouted as a small tornado formed out of the poison, while Naruto mimicked the action. "Wait, you learned how to use this jutsu already, Naruto?" asked Jin in shock as he stared at the tornado in his nephew's hands. "Yeah. It took my clones 10 minutes to learn," nodded Naruto, happy that he finally had family. "How many clones did you have working on it?" asked Jin excitedly. I think 200, mumbled Naruto, trying to remember while Jin's eyes seemed to light up. "Holy moly, my nephew is a goldmine of a prodigy. Learned the shadow clone jutsu, poison bullet, poison blockade, and poison hurricane in one night. And he learned he can use shadow clones to help learn jutsu," thought Jin to himself as he decided to try something. "Hey Naruto. I want to show you a jutsu my brother made." He started getting both Naruto and Iruka's attention as Jin held out his left hand as a slight light escaped the sleeves of his shirt before a swirling ball of blue chakra formed in the middle of his palm. "Now, using all your clones, try to copy this attack," smirked Jin as Iruka stared at the attack in shock while Naruto stared at it in awe and excitement. "Alright," cheered Naruto as he used his favorite jutsu again, easily making over 1,000 clones before they all started trying to mimic the attack. "Was that the Rasengan? The jutsu made by the 4th Hokage?" asked Iruka in shock once Naruto was out of earshot. "Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? I mean, I am his brother after all. I would know his jutsu," stated Jin as if it was a simple fact. "Wait, are you saying that the 4th Hokage is Naruto's father?" shouted Iruka in shock as he stared at the blonde who was using 4 clones to help make the swirling blue sphere of death known as Rasengan. "Of course he is. Look between a colored picture of Minato and Naruto and you'll see the similarities. I mean, give Naruto some bangs on the side that go down his face, add remove the whisker marks, and you have Minato," stated Jin, making Iruka freeze in shock as he went over the instructions in his mind, following them as well to realize that Jin was absolutely correct. An hour later Jin was going to shout for Naruto to stop for the day before Naruto ran up to him and created a clone. "Uncle. Look," chuckled Naruto as he and his clone started swirling chakra around in Naruto's palm, creating a hollow version of a Rasengan. "Awesome, now test it on that tree," smirked Jin, making Naruto nod as he slammed the Rasengan into the tree, doing no damage whatsoever. "What? Oh come on," groaned Naruto before he felt Jin pat him on the shoulder. "Hey, you learned the first step on your own without any help. Tomorrow I'll show you how to make it powerful," smirked Jin, making Naruto smirk. "Now, if I knew anything about Uzumaki's, they love their ramen. How about we stop at this shop I know which your mother and father spent half their time dating," he added, making Naruto cheer before hurrying after his fleeing uncle, who was staring at his left arm, more specifically the seals that were coming off. "I'm going to have to get Hokage-sama to reapply my chakra purification seals later tonight," he sighed to himself. It has been a few days since Mizuki tricked Naruto into stealing the scroll of sealing, the incident being personally dubbed the Mizuki incident by Hiruzen, Jin, Naruto and Iruka. In that time Jin had started training Naruto in the shinobi arts, something which he found the whiskered blonde was missing a lot on. On the day directly after the incident, Naruto had met a young boy by the name of Konohamaru, who was trying to attack his grandfather, Hiruzen, the third Hokage. After following Naruto for a short while, Konohamaru got the chance to join Jin and Naruto in their training regimen, which the kid accepted. Now Jin was training the two boys before Naruto goes to team assignments, which had been delayed a few days because of the Mizuki incident. "Come on boys. You can do better than this," shouted Jin as he blocked kicks sent to the both sides of his head with his forearms. "We're just getting warmed up," shouted Naruto as he kicked off of his uncle's forearm before his cheeks puffed out, Konohamaru snapping his fingers, causing a small ball of fire to ignite in his hand. "Wind style. Vacuum wave," shouted Naruto as he started spinning before firing a massive blade of wind at Jin, before Konohamaru exclaimed his jutsu name. "Fire style. Exploding flame shot," shouted Konohamaru as he threw the small fireball into the blade of wind, catching the attack ablaze before Jin smirked and slammed both of his palms into the ground, causing a wall of poison to rise out of the ground. After it absorbed the force of the attack, it started turning into a tendril of poison, which shot out at Konohamaru and Naruto. "What?" shouted Konohamaru and Naruto in shock as they jumped out of the way of the attack, only to be grabbed by the leg by a tendril of poison coming out of the one they dodged. "Boys, I mastered poison style to where I don't have to say the name of my jutsu. Something I advise you do as well," stated Jin seriously before the tendril slammed the two boys into the ground before taking bells off of them. "And another shinobi tip, always be prepared for your opponent to do anything." He smirked as he helped Naruto up before getting Konohamaru onto his back. "Damn. I thought we had you with that," growled Naruto annoyed as his hands started glowing purple as a purple mist came out of Konohamaru's mouth before the grandson of the third Hokage shook himself awake and jumped off of Jin's back. "You two had a dangerous combo, especially since you are hardly a genin, Naruto, while Konohamaru is a civilian. I'm genuinely impressed by your advancement, though I have to wonder why you didn't use your clones, Naruto," stated Jin as he bent down to Naruto's height. "Well, recently using clones is starting to hurt, like my chakra is being damaged," mumbled Naruto slightly as a cloak of purple chakra, in the form of a fox manifested around him, making Jin's eyes widen in shock and concern. "Naruto, I need you to trust me with something, alright?" requested Jin as he wrote something on his left hand while Naruto nodded. "Uzumaki's sealing jutsu. Bloodline limit seal," Jin shouted as he slammed his palm onto Naruto's chest, causing lines of seals to move around his chest, as if on diagonal lines, before wrapping around his back and linking together with the kanji for 9 in the center of a circle of seals. "What was that for?" shouted Naruto in pain and surprise, a slight golden glow escaping from between his shoulder blades. "You have a highly advanced poison style, which if left unchecked is highly dangerous for your chakra coils," sighed Jin as he took off his shirt, showing that he also had a bloodline limit seal on his chest, as well as a line of seals on his left arm. "I used poison style too much. And now I have to use this chakra purification seal array that your father and mother made together to use any form of jutsu beyond poison style. The reason is that poison style is highly corrosive, meaning that it will break down any chakra it touches. Our bodies are modified to stop that on a basic level. But prolonged irregular use can have a very dangerous effect. I can no longer produce regular chakra, only poison chakra." Jin sighed as he put his shirt back on, Naruto looking at his before realizing that somehow Jin put a seal on his chest through his shirt. "Wait, I didn't understand most of that, but how did you put a seal on me through my shirt?" asked Naruto confused. "The Uzumaki clan were feared for their seals. I learned how to use them from Kushina, some of them are really amazing," smirked Jin before he remembered what day it was and Naruto isn't team assignments on in 10 minutes. He asked, making Naruto's eyes widen before he created a clone, which he started spinning around before he threw it towards the academy, screaming all the way. "Bro? What's that for?" asked Konohamaru before he noticed Naruto was covered in a poof of smoke, leaving behind Naruto. "Boss could have warned me before he did that," shouted Naruto before he exploded into a puff of smoke, using the substitution jutsu and the shadow clone jutsu as a means of transportation. "That's interesting," smirked Jin before he picked Konohamaru up onto his shoulders and used the body flicker jutsu to get to the Hokage's office, where he dropped off Konohamaru before using the previously mentioned jutsu again to get to the academy, where he snuck into the roof just as Naruto barged into the same room just in time to sit down before Iruka came in and ordered over one to be silent before he went through the list of teams. "Team 7 will be Naruto Uzumaki," started Iruka, getting Jin and Naruto's attention. "Sasuke Uchiha," the teacher continued, making Jin nod in understanding, while Naruto growled to himself slightly, his uncle beating, not voicing his irritation to his superiors, like he would normally, literally. "And, Hinata Hyuga," finished Iruka, making the shy, pale-eyed girl's eyes widen in shock and slight joy at being on the same team as he crushed, while all the fangirls in the room shouted at how they wanted to be with their Sasuke-kun, before Iruka stated up again, "Your sensei, S, will be Kakashi Hatake and Jin Uzumaki." he added, making everyone's eyes widen, even Naruto's. Yanagi-san took up my mom's last name. Why? Is it to protect me from dad's enemies on the field? Or was it to be able to keep calling me his nephew? Thought Naruto to himself while everyone in the class stared at him wondering when he got family, especially a certain duck-butt-headed Uchiha. Moving back on track, teammate is Shino Aburam, Kiba Inuzuka and Sakura Haruno. Dear Jonin-sensei is Kurina Yuhi. Stated Iruka, getting a protest from the mentioned pink-headed genin to be shut up. These teams are made by the Hokage himself. If you have a problem with it then suck it up. He shouted at the top of his lungs, making all of his students shy away from wandering him anymore as he got ready to finish up while Naruto smirked. Man, now I am glad that Jinnaji-san opened my eyes to that stuff. Sakura isn't as good as I thought she was, thought Naruto to himself, rubbing his head from the phantom pain caused by his uncle, literally beating sense into him, probably fixing something in his brain that Sakura or one of the villagers caused. Now, since Team 9 is already in circulation, Team 10 will be composed of Ino Yamanaka, Choji Akimichi and Shikamaru Nara, your Jonin-sensei will be Asuma Sarutobi. Stated Iruka before Ino looked like she was going to say something before she suddenly freezes up and fell over, Naruto picking his left ear with his left pinky. Stay quiet, Iruka-sensei already said that arguing is going against Hokage Jiji. Sighed Naruto, his eyes serious. And what would you know, dope? I bet you and that relative of yours are just as weak and dumb as each other. Stated Sasuke, making Iruka start to tell him to quiet up before said Uchiha was pinned to the wall by two glowing gold chains that shot out of Naruto's back, ripping through his jumpsuit shirt and making holes in Sasuke's shirt. Sasuke-kun. Let him go, Naruto baka. Shouted Sakura before a third chain shot out of Naruto's back and wrapped around her throat before the three chains brought the two closer to Naruto's face, showing the two how his eyes were red with slitted pupils. Shut up. Sasuke, I won't allow you to mock the only family I have. And Sakura, I've realized that you aren't what I thought you were, so from now on, I'm not having any of your shit. Growled Naruto, his poison cloak starting to form again. Naruto. Shouted Iruka, making Naruto's eyes widen as they returned to their natural blue state as his poison cloak faded away. Naruto, drop them. Iruka demanded, making Naruto sigh and nod before he retracted his chains back into his back before the reality of what he did just hit him. What the hell was that? I made chains out of my back. Shouted Naruto, making Jin chuckle. I should have expected him to gain that. His mother did have it after all. I wonder, was his bloodline stopping him from using the adamantine sealing chains? I mean, it is corrosive, but could it destroy even those chains before they come out? Asked Jin to himself as he watched the event through a hole in the roof which was conveniently placed over Naruto, or was it Kurama who awakened it as an alternative for Naruto to use so he wouldn't be weak? So many questions, he thought to himself as slowly but surely, teams started moving out with their team sensei. AHHH. Where is he? Shouted Naruto, losing control of his emotions for a second, making a golden glow escape his shoulder blades before it faded as the hyperactive blonde took a deep breath. Maybe he has something important to do? Suggested Hinata shyly, making Naruto nod. Alright, thanks Hinata. Hey, you have a bloodline, right? What is it? Asked Naruto, deciding to pass the time by learning about the only teammate he could get anything out of. The Byakugan, it allows the user to have a 360-degree view on their surroundings, and the user can't see the opponent's chakra, explained Hinata shyly, poking her fingers together. So you're the tracker of the team. Sasuke team is probably the mid to far range attacker, and I'm the close to mid-range attacker who is used for infiltration, information gathering and seduction. Analyzed Naruto, making Hinata and Sasuke stare at him like he grew a second head. What? Yanagi-san is a slave driver, made me read every book he could get me to about ninja strategies, he stated, making Sasuke look away before a swirl of poison appeared in the middle of the room, which dissipated to reveal Jin. Sorry I'm late. I had to pry Kakashi away from the memorial stone and itcha, sighed Jin as he rubbed the back of his head slightly. Please meet us on the roof, we will introduce ourselves. He requested as he disappeared in a swirl of poison again, making Sasuke and Hinata walked out of the room and towards the stairs while Naruto, being the unorthodox brat he was, decided to climb up out of the window and climb onto the roof before Hinata and Sasuke got up and sat down next to Naruto. Alright, since Kakashi isn't here, I will start the introductions. They will consist of your name, likes, dislikes and dreams. Here I go, MHM, I am Jin Uzumaki, my likes include Naruto, Kurama, my summons, my brother and his wife. My dislikes include a large percent of Konoha's population, murderers, rapists, corrupt businessmen, and those who use others for their own means. My dream for the future is to live to see Naruto become Hokage, see a new generation of Konoha ninja, and help bring peace to the shinobi world. Stated Jin, making all three genin stare at him with different emotions on his face. For Naruto and Hinata it was awe, but for Sasuke it was skepticism. Now, you start Naruto. Jin stated, making Naruto nod. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. My likes include Hokage Jiji, Jin Ajusan summons, ramen, the Ichiraku ramen stand owners and Iruka sensei. My dislikes are almost the same as Jin Ajusan's, not including the Konoha population, but including people who cannot see the difference between a scroll and the kunai sealed within. My dreams for the future are to become a Hokage that surpasses all the previous ones, create an era of peace, make my parents proud, and to create peace between humans and 9 certain individuals. Stated Naruto, making Sasuke scoff at the idea of most of those dreams besides the last one, which gained the combined interest of Jin, Hinata, Sasuke, Kakashi, who had just appeared, and Kurama himself, making the same, though go through their heads who are these 9 individuals. Naruto? Who are you talking about? Asked Hinata. None expected the next phrase to come out of Naruto's mouth, not even Jin. The 9-tailed beasts. Stated Naruto, making everyone stare at him in shock. What? Shouted Kakashi, Hinata and Sasuke in shock, while Jin's face turned into a smile as Kurama felt a slight form of respect for his container grow inside of him, only enough for him to remember the name of Naruto, but respect nonetheless. Yes, Jin Ajusan told me about his encounter with one of the 9-tailed beasts, about how they managed to hold a decent conversation. That made me realize that they aren't just mindless beasts or tools of war to be sealed inside of people, they are living beings. Stated Naruto as a small air of red chakra formed over his body before it shot into Jin's stomach as the adult's eyes turned red and slitted. I guess this will have to do. Hello, humans. Greeted Jin in a slightly demonic voice as he smirked, showing that he had grown fangs. Well, Kakashi brought out a kunai now, none of that. Even if I wanted to hurt you, I can't. I have no idea how to manipulate poison chakra. Let me introduce myself to you. I am the mighty 9-tailed fox, Kyuubi, boss summon of the demon fox contract. I have no likes and my dislikes are most of your species, the Shinigami and Shukaku. I have no dreams for the future. Stated the possessed Jin before the red chakra left his body and entered Naruto. I guess I have no choice. I am the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi, sighed Naruto, making Sasuke and Hinata stare at him in shock. Why did you have to screw me over, Kyuubi? Naruto asked himself as he closed his eyes and looked at the ground, while Jin and Kakashi studied Hinata and Sasuke, who were staring at Naruto. So, Sasuke, Hinata. Now that you know about Naruto's darkest secret, what do you think? Is he still the Naruto you know, or is he the Kyuubi? Asked Jin, staring at Sasuke and Hinata, his hand discreetly going for a kunai just in case either of the two attack Naruto. Grunted Sasuke as he stared at Naruto. I doubt that the Kyuubi could be as dumb and weak as the dope is. He stated, making Naruto growl and get ready to attack Sasuke, only for Jin to hold him back. Naruto. Think about what he said for a second. Advised Jin, making Naruto calm down before he realized what Sasuke said meant. Hey Sasuke. I'll take the insult in stride. Smirked Naruto, smiling his face-splitting smile while Sasuke smirked, only slightly. I also believe that Naruto-kun is not the Kyuubi, mumbled Hinata shyly, poking her fingers together, making Naruto smile at her, making the Hyuga blush. Thank you, Hinata. Cheered Naruto before Kakashi coughed slightly, making the 3 genin look at him. If we could get back to our introductions now. He requested, making it sound slightly like a question, making the 3 genin nod as they continued their introductions, while Jin talked with Naruto secretly. Naruto. I think we'll need to talk with Kyuubi later. It'd be best if we start some form of respect bond between you both. Stated Jin, making Naruto nod. Yeah. And I also want to meet the furball in person. Especially after that stunt he just pulled. Nodded Naruto while he heard said furball growl in the back of his mind. Good. You're all unique and have your own ideas. We'll have our first mission tomorrow. Stated Kakashi, simply grabbing Naruto's attention. What kind of mission will it be? Asked Naruto, excited. A survival exercise. Stated Jin, simply already knowing Kakashi's test. What is it about? Asked Naruto, having a bad feeling, which only increased and spread onto Hinata as Kakashi and Jin smirked and started chuckling to themselves. What is so funny about that question? Asked Hinata, confused and slightly afraid. If we tell you the answer, you're not going to like it. Smirked Jin, chuckling slightly while Kakashi put on an intimidating face. Of the 27 graduates, only 9 of them will be accepted as genin. The other 18 will be sent back to the academy. In other words, this is a make it or break it, pass, fail test. And the chance that you will fail is at least 66%. Stated Kakashi, seriously, making Naruto and Hinata pale slightly, while Sasuke showed no emotion on his face. I told you that you wouldn't like it, didn't I? Asked Jin playfully. Then what was the graduation test for? Asked Hinata shyly. Oh, that was to round up the hopeless little shits who could never become ninja as they are, and get them away from the students who might become ninja. Smirked Jin before a Chunin appeared next to him with a file. Here you go, Jin. The student files you requested on your students. Stated the Chunin before he disappeared in a puff of smoke. I'll be reading these thoroughly later. For now. I'll read a little bit about your jutsu, mumbled Jin as he skimmed through Naruto's file before coming across